Hello everyone, my name is Takama. This is part 4 of the Sapporo Ramen Cooking Challenge. If you've been with me since part 1, thank you. I hope that you've enjoyed the videos and you've found them informative and maybe a little bit inspiring too. In part 4, we have arrived at the end. We have all of our components together. We have our Chatsu Pork, we have our marinated eggs, and we have our chicken stock, which we turned into our final ramen broth. So now it's time to put our ramen together. So here I am with all of the ingredients we're going to need to put our ramen together. And my apologies in advance if you see me look away. I'm looking at my notes because yet again there's quite a few ingredients that go into the topping for the ramen. So let us waste no time at all so that we can get our bowl of goodness. The first ingredient that you'll need are ramen noodles. Now, the recipe that I've been giving you feeds for. I'm only preparing one bowl, but the recipe does feed for. And they feed for very large size meals. So you'll need 400 grams of ramen noodles. And these are the ramen noodles that we prefer, but use the ramen noodles that you prefer. You'll also need your ramen broth, and I don't actually have a measure for it. You just sort of measure out what is enough for 4 bowls. And I guess it's a little bit individual. Some people like more, some people like less. You're then going to need some corn. Now, this was originally 1 corn cob, and that's what you'll need. We char grilled it on our barbecue. When I say we, I mean Jamie. He barbecued it. If you don't have a barbecue or you don't want to use your barbecue for 1 corn cob, you can just char grill it under your grill. That will do the same thing. And then cut off all the corn kernels from it. If you don't like the idea of that, you can use frozen corn or you can use canned corn kernels, but make sure they're drained really well. Probably a good idea to pat them out on some paper towel. And then it's probably better to do that in a frying pan and fry them on really, really high heat until they start blackening up. Okay, that's corn. We also need bamboo shoots. That's these at the top. And you'll need a can, which is about 220 grams for a can of bamboo shoots. And this is enough for 1, so this is about 8 slivers of bamboo shoots per bowl. The next, the next ingredient is bean sprouts, mung beans. And you will need, how many will you need again? You'll need 100 grams of bean sprouts for 4 people. If you don't like mung beans, you can use soybeans as an alternative. Alrighty, what is next? Next is our nori. So, yaki nori or sushi. Now, what you're using this for is edible decoration, but it's still nice to do. And I've just cut ours into triangles. You can cut them into whatever shape you want to. It can be as fancy or as simple as you like. And our next ingredient is butter. All up for 4 people, you'll need 60 grams. And yeah, for substitutes, nutlets would be the only substitute I would say is okay. The purpose of the butter in the ramen is that it's slowly melting through the ingredients and the broth. And a lot of margarines, yeah, well, that's why they're margarine, not butter. So yes, to feed 4 you'll need 60 grams, and for just 1 person 15 grams. Okay, the next ingredient is spring onions. It's just a little bit, so all up you're just using 1 spring onion, and just finely slice it. And then you will need just a sprinkling of fresh chives, and we've also, there we go, and that's also for decoration. Now the next ingredient is our marinated eggs. Here they are. So as you can see, now if you used a dark soy, they probably would be a little bit darker, and obviously the longer you marinate them, the darker they're going to get. So you get the dark skin, but it's still nice and white on the inside, and you can see there's still just a little bit of oozy softness to them, and they taste fabulous. The next ingredient is our Chatsu pork. So for 1 person it's 2 thin slices. Try and cut it as thin as possible. Ramen, you don't really use thick cuts of meat. You want nice thin delicate slices. And to go on top, oh, I forgot what, oh no, that is on top, yeah, the jalapenos. It's a little bit different, but it gives you a nice little kick. It's a good bit of gastronomic fun. And then for our toppings, you need a dash of chili flakes, about a 1/4 cup. Oh no, not a 1/4 cup. You'll burn your throat. You want a 1/4 teaspoon of chili flakes. And this is Nanami Togarashi, and it is a seasoning. It's a chili pepper seasoning, so it's also quite hot. And you're only going to want just a pinch of that, 1/8 of a teaspoon. And we have sesame oil, and that's just to very lightly, very quickly drizzle over the top. And very last, we have our wakame and our shiitake mushrooms. And in the ramen, we're going to put 1 into the ramen, and just, I suppose, divide what you have of the wakame out between 4 bowls. All right, let's put this together. So here we are with all of our ingredients. This is a ramen bowl, and I really recommend that if this is going to be something that you think you'd like to do every now and again, they're worth investing in. These meals, I think I mentioned in an earlier video, ramens are meals in themselves, and as we put this bowl together, you'll see what I mean. They're very, very large serves. So the first thing that we need to do is put our ramen noodles into our bowl. And then the next thing to put just a bit of the wakame on top of the ramen noodles. And I'm also going to put a couple of slices of the shiitake mushroom. And then we add the broth. You might need to give it a bit of a stir because the miso does have a tendency to settle. And you'll need ladle. And really ladle it into your preference. Yeah, that looks about enough. And then you want to start arranging everything in the bowl. So I'm going to start with the pork, and you place it on the edges, and then next to that the bamboo shoots. A lot of a ramen, and if you've seen them before, they look really pretty, so that's part of your objective, is to make them look as nice and appealing as possible when putting it together. Now on the other side of the pork, I'm going to place the mung beans. And then back with the bamboo, I'm going to add the corn. Now I am going to, I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do first. Yes, I will do the eggs. So on the opposite side of the pork, I'm going to place the eggs. And then get the spring onions, sprinkle them around. Okay, now in the center here, I am going to add the butter. Sorry, I just need to wipe my hands. And lastly, the jalapenos. And then we're going to sprinkle the chives. So this can actually be quite a meditative process, arranging everything, getting it just right. Now we're going to scatter the chili flakes. then the Nanami Togarashi. Like I said, just a pinch. It's pretty intense. And when you've got chili flakes as well as jalapenos, you can overdo the heat. And then the sesame oil, and just lightly, you don't want to drown it. And very last is your decoration. I made mine a bit too big. Okay, there we are. So you can see this is one intense big meal, but certainly one that you will never forget. So we've reached the end of part 4 in our Sapporo Ramen Cooking Challenge. I really hope that you found this video informative and inspiring. And if you've been with me through parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, thank you so much. And again, I do hope that you found it informative. I do hope you found it inspiring and given you something to think about in terms of shaking up the way that you cook in the kitchen or the types of meals that you might have. Now, I'm not going to taste this soup because the bowl that I made is actually Jamie's dinner, and that's rude. So I can assure you though that it is worth the investment in time. They are, as you saw, really big bowls. They're hearty, nourishing meals, and your body and your brain will thank you for it. There are so many health benefits in a bowl of ramen that I'd be here for half an hour listing the benefits. They're great bowls. They're a bit of self-care. So I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I do hope that you will give making a ramen a try. I think you will come to enjoy the experience and enjoy the satisfaction and just enjoy the food if you do try it. So if you did like this video, please click like, and if you like this video, if you liked following along with this series and you would like to see more videos, please do subscribe so you can keep up with the videos that I'm making. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, do leave them in the comment box below. I will do my best to answer any questions. And enjoy your ramen. I look forward to hearing everyone's ramen experiences. Until next time, may you have good karma in your kitchen.